Okay, everybody. Welcome to our first podcast here for Private Industry Council. We will be, I guess I should introduce myself first. I'm Alec Italiano. I'm joined by
Catherine Simpson.
Yes, and also joining us via Zoom, we have some of our Head Start staff up there in Beaver County. How you guys doing over there?
Good, great.
Okay. Let me turn down some of this music here, and we can get talking. So, I know a lot of the things that we wanted to talk about here were some basically frequently asked questions about the Head Start program. So, you guys want to maybe introduce yourself a little bit and what you do for Head Start up there, and early Head Start up in Beaver County?
Sure. All right, so I'm Natalie Mead, and I'm the Parent, Family, and Community Engagement Manager.
Okay.
And so my team and I provide supportive services to our parents and connecting them to community resources, doing home visits, working also with the community to better the agency.
Excellent. That's awesome. Tammy?
I am Tammy Ozgovich, and I'm the director for the Early Head Start program here in Beaver County. So I'm responsible for the overall operation of the program. So that would be all the service areas that we provide, which is the parent, family, community engagement, child health and safety, and the child development and education service area.
Okay, that was a mouthful. Guys do it all up there. I'm drawing a blank already. Crystal. Yeah, sorry, Crystal.
That's okay. I appreciate it. I'm Crystal Kaharski. I'm the assistant director, and I oversee the education and child health and safety area. And Tammy also, we do ERSI, which stands for eligibility, recruitment, selection, attendance, and enrollment area as well. So, but also within child health and safety, we have mental health and disabilities that's included in there too. So there is a lot of components of Head Start, Early Head Start.
Yes, there
are.
Why
we're doing what we're doing today.
Exactly. I was just going to lead into that. So it's perfect segue is why are we doing this podcast? And that is, it's be primarily educational and, hopefully inform parents and students both, exactly what the program's all about. And, some of the services that we offer. So I know there's like an alphabet soup out there of acronyms, which I'm still like picking up myself here. So thank you for, explaining anything that we use as an acronym that we kind of use in our own world, but maybe, the outside world, quote unquote, doesn't necessarily know. So let's just, get right into it. We have Head Start and we have Early Head Start. So let's just start with that basic question, whoever wants to take it, and say, what are the age group differences and any program differences along with those?
So this is Tammy. So Head Start provides services for children who are 3 to 5 years old. So it's more of a preschool program. Mm-hmm. For Early Head Start, that's our infants, toddlers, and 2-year-olds.
Okay, and then Head Start would be above that, right?
Right, they would be 3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
Okay. So
I'm going to take it over here. So whenever you say infant, how young can they be to sign up for Early Head Start?
We take them as early as 6 weeks. But if there are certain circumstances, I know that some Head Start programs have taken them even earlier, depending on the circumstances of the families. So it just depends. But normally we take 6 weeks to 5 years old.
Okay, so who can sign up for this? Is it just an age requirement? Is there any income guidelines?
Sure. Actually, anyone can sign up. As long as their children are between the ages of 6 weeks and 5 years, we do want to make sure that they are age eligible for the program.
Right.
But we do encourage all families, regardless of income background or income, to actually apply for the program.
Okay, good answers there. So, just to take a real quick step back, what is Head Start? I mean, is it, to the person that might not necessarily know, like, is it, daycare? Is it educational? Kind of give us our little elevator speech on what the program is, where the funding comes from, and, why we're in the areas that we're in.
So Head Start is a federally funded program. Head Start provides comprehensive services. Unlike other preschool programs, we work with the entire family. Mm-hmm. So we talked about those service areas. Those service areas not only support the children who are in our program, they also support the families. Like Natalie said, her folks really provide supports to families, whether they're looking for housing, looking for employment,
right.
If they have some financial difficulties or concerns. We help support those families through those events. So we are a comprehensive program, which is much different than typical preschool programs. Educationally, I'll let Crystal talk about the education components that we do for Head Start and early Head Start programs. But again, I think that we are a lot different than some other preschool programs that are out there. We have to have, I'll let Chris talk about it, but we have to use an approved curriculum for our preschool programs.
Mm-hmm. So both Head Start and early Head Start programs use the creative curriculum, and those are for the in the classroom curriculums. We have home-based services as well, where the home-based instructor will go into the home and work with the family and the child on education in the home and supporting the child's first teacher in the home. And they use Growing Great Kids, which is a new curriculum that we're actually sending out.
Growing Great
Kids. Year, we're starting this year. So that may be an upcoming podcast to go over what specifically that is. But the creative curriculum for our in-class classrooms, our classrooms in classroom, is based on a developmental play-based and very hands-on learning. So our infants, toddlers, and twos, it really focuses on the routines and experiences, their toileting their routines, their mealtime routines, their sleeping routines, the hello and goodbye greetings, which is so important and so influential in the infant, toddler, two children's lives at the very beginning, and saying goodbye and saying hello and just starting that communication piece.
Proper manners and everything like that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And then our preschool curriculum really focuses on studies and leads by the children's interests. So we start the year off with routines, rules, and procedures, but then they might be really interested in why the trees are changing colors. And so now we're going to do a tree study, and we're going to go collect leaves and find things. So I was in a classroom today where they found hulls of the nuts that the squirrels were eating, and they put them all in their pockets and come back.
I love it.
Yeah, and study them. And they found, oh, well, this didn't come from this tree.
Right.
And then they looked up in the tree, and there's a bird's nest, and then there's other things growing on the tree. So it really just starts to blossom from what they're talking about, what they're interested in. And sometimes, yes, we have to get dirty, and sometimes, yes, we come home with a grass stain on our pants because that's them learning and hands-on. But that's our curriculum and education in a nutshell. And again, definitely could be a further podcast as we go through and really dive into that information.
In a nutshell, right? No pun intended, right?
In a nutshell, no pun intended. I probably still have some in my pocket because I don't think I cleaned them all out.
Oh, that's funny.
They were very interested in them.
I love it. I mean, it's just, that's the comprehensive nature of it that I really, think the program personally brings to the table is it's not just, X. It's this whole, from the manners up, to talking about the changing of the, seasons and, how else we can provide a further level of education that's not just coming from the school. So
right, and just that small activity, bringing in all of these acorns or whatever nuts they collected, it's counting, it's looking at the different sizes.
Right.
So there's so much you can do with that, and it was all based on the interest of the children.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just want to add also, Alex, as we were talking about like what is Head Start, early Head Start, and what the great benefit is to the parents, and we talked about the child development education and the parent family community engagement. I think another area though that is key is our child health and safety, because when our parents are maybe struggling with identifying a dentist or a pediatrician or don't know how to go about even identifying one or getting those services. In addition to our family service workers, we do have our child health and safety team. We, work with parents to make sure that, their children are up to date on their immunizations and their dental appointments, etc. We provide that transportation to them if they need it.
Yeah.
So, it's everything that would prepare them for when they are going into kindergarten, but also that health and safety piece is important so that when our children are in the classroom or at the home during the home base, like they are ready to learn. And they're feeling good. Because could you imagine like being in a classroom and you have a toothache? You're not learning anything. Because that's what you're focusing on.
All you're thinking is that toothache.
Right.
I've been there before.
Hungry because of food insecurity. We're able to provide, a healthy breakfast or a healthy lunch, and then connect families to the local food bank or something like that if they need that level of assistance. So it's nice that piece is also incorporated in this program.
Oh, that's awesome. So you guys feed the kids the whole time they're there? They don't have to worry about snacks or lunch or anything like that?
That's correct. So we, in our preschool programs, we actually have a 5-hour classrooms and 6-hour classrooms.
Okay.
So in our 5-hour classrooms, and again, just based on grants.
But
our 5-hour classroom gets a breakfast and a lunch. Again, we follow child and adult care food programming, so they have to follow a specific guideline on what they're served. And then in our 6-hour program, they're served a breakfast, lunch, and a snack for the afternoon as well. They have that extra hour. Our infants and toddlers are on-demand feeding, but they also get breakfast and lunch, especially with those toddlers. But then the infants, they'll have their breast milk or their formula and that piece of it as well. And again, we document all of that and follow all that based on the child and adult care food program. But yes, we absolutely feed our kiddos.
I'm sure that's a question you guys get a lot is, do I have to pack a lunch and, will they be fed and everything like that. So that's, again, to go back to my earlier point, that's what I love about the program is it's not just teaching, it's, it's feeding, and it's like everything the kid would need to step in the classroom day one. And basically hit the ground running.
And the
learning.
Other thing is too, we provide transportation too. So unlike other preschool programs, we do provide transportation for the children. For the Head Start program, for the early Head Start program, they are self-transport.
And I'll ask the question because if we're I think 12 minutes in, this is free, right, for all of our parents and everybody who signs up for it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, another big differentiator between that and a regular, daycare or whatever is
preschool,
it's not only is it the food and transportation and everything, it's like we're also offering it at no cost to them. So, gonna put that out loud and clear. You got a question over there, Kat? No? Okay. I saw you looking like you're gonna talk. So, all right, well, you guys just basically went through all my FAQs already, so now we just have to fill another 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. But so what you guys are in Beaver County right now. I know PIC also does it in Fayette County, and then we have operators throughout the region that do like Allegheny County and Westmoreland County and things like that. So you're in the entire county up there. Like, how many classrooms do you guys have total in Beaver?
We have 21 preschool classrooms, 6 early Head Start classrooms, and then we're working with 4 child care partners in the county.
So it is countywide. I mean, wherever you are.
It is countywide, yes.
Yeah.
And then the areas where we don't have classrooms located, we are providing home-based services that Crystal talked about, where we're actually going into the home once a week, an hour and a half each week, and working with the parent and the child.
Yeah, which I personally, I find that pretty interesting, the home-based aspect of it. We do, Head Start does provide transportation, obviously, but maybe you're in a classroom that's filled up, I think, is a lot of the times, where home-based comes into play. Is there any other, reason why a parent might prefer to be home-based rather than classroom-based?
Yeah, sometimes parents just aren't, feel that their child's not ready for a center-based program. So it's a nice way to introduce them to Head Start services. And then, eventually then we would like to get the child into a center-based option, especially if they're getting ready to go to kindergarten, so they can get that social piece. But we do provide socializations for our home-based families so that families can get together with their children. So that socialization does take place, and those happen at least once a month as well.
Oh, that's really awesome that these home-based kids still get to interact with children their age, and the parents are meeting, other parents in the community, even though they are receiving just home-based compared to that center-based. That's really awesome.
Right, and they do outings too. So they'll go visit. They might want to go to a farm, and and the children are then introduced to what farm life is like, and different vegetables and
picking pumpkins and
things like that. That might be or animals, and a lot of times you'll ask kids, where does like hamburger come from? They'll say, Walmart, but yes, so we can show them that, yes, you buy it at Walmart, but really this is where it comes from. It's beef and it's from cattle, and so again, that's a learning experience. They may have a socialization at the local fire department, and that fire department might talk about safety, fire safety, and what to do if there is a fire in your house, and so the parents are learning about having evacuation sites and having the children practice that, and where they would meet outside, and having, a fire extinguisher or smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors in their home. And then, again, children get to see the fire engines, and, so it really is a nice experience for both.
Yeah, what kid wouldn't love that, going to the fire department
absolutely.
and everything. And I'm sure,
they love that.
And I'm sure a lot of the times it's the kids probably educating the parents on some of this stuff that they're learning, right? I mean, it's gotta go both ways there. So, that's great.
And I think the nice thing about that too is, a lot of times, the fire company will put on like their gear to show them that this is what we're going to look like if we have to come into your home during an emergency. So they're not scared in the event that
God forbid
a
that
fire
ever
company
happens.
has to come into their home. They know that they're wearing these big masks, but they're there, to help them. Right.
I love the farm example though too, because I feel like that is I don't want to call it a problem, but just something that, like, it comes from Walmart, it comes from Dollar General, or the grocery store or whatever. Like, they're not actually seeing that full circle. It's coming from this to that. It's a cow. And then it's got to go through the processing plant. So it's full circle education, and that's what I think is so important that they may or may not be getting at school. So, okay. I love it.
Ellie, you wanted to add something?
No, I was just going to say, Alex, as Tammy was talking about just like the socializations of going to the fire station, meeting a fireman, we also can incorporate that into like our afternoon activities like that we have every month with our site. So we do what is called a family engagement meeting. And so this is something that is required by Head Start, doing parent committees. And so typically they'll bring someone in from like the community, or we'll talk about a specific topic for the parents, but one of them being just fire safety, and the children along with their parents get an opportunity to see like a fireman or hear someone from the bank talking about financial literacy. Or have someone from a local community organization just talk about ways that the family can benefit from what they offer. But that's just another way where it's still in the classroom, but now you have your parent here, and it's a group of families from that particular site or one classroom that get to learn together. So we definitely try to be creative and finding ways that families learn together as well.
I love it. I mean, more parent engagement, the better, right?
For sure.
And
say that again, Alex.
More parent engagement, the better for everybody out there listening in Head Start Radio World. So, No, I mean, I think it's good. I mean, in a perfect world, Head Start is like, it's part of the community. It's ingrained in the community. You're a fabric of the community. How many times can I say community in a sentence to really like get that through? But, I don't want to say in a perfect world that's how it's going to work. But that's why the program is successful, is because you're working with school districts and partnerships in the communities, and like you were talking about earlier with the firemen and wherever else you guys go, it's like, yeah, we're here, we're part of it. We're helping to raise the kids of tomorrow and everything like that. So it's a great service. I think it's a great program, and the more involvement that you can get from the kids or the parents or the community, just the better that program's going to be. So
right. And not only that, I think that's why it exists, right? It takes the community and the parents and just the Head Start program and the teaching staff, or just all and the other staff members here, to help children succeed.
Yeah.
And then not only that, then you have families who grow, and then you just have better communities overall.
Catherine?
So if you have a parent that comes to you and says, well, it's not required for my child to go to preschool, what are you going to say to them to convince them that, this Head Start program is important and is the best step for their child before entering kindergarten?
So, Catherine, Alex mentioned about our partnership with school districts, and I think that's important to point out. A majority of our classrooms are located in the school district. And because of that, what I'm hearing from the superintendents is that they can tell the difference between the children who are coming to them from Head Start. They already know the district. They already know the expectations of the district. They come in ready to learn. So I think that's definitely the benefit. Children are familiar and they're not scared. Going to kindergarten then is not as scary for them as if they were coming from, not having that Head Start experience. So they're socially ready to learn. They're physically ready to learn. And like I said, they're familiar with that district. Not only are the children familiar with the district, so are the parents.
Right.
Because the parents now know what the expectations are of the district. So, I would say that our children really are going to school ready to learn, or, they're on a level playing field when they enter that district.
Yeah, I love that. Good question. That is, you got to set that expectation, whatever you're doing in life, but definitely when you're going to school first thing, got to limit the scary factor for the kids. And, I'm not sure how much data is out on this, but, I could only imagine, Head Start kids are going to be, more prepared to learn and therefore get better grades because of it. So, that's why I think it's doing such good work in the community. So.
Yeah, and we do ask for feedback from our districts on how our children are performing in comparison to other children in the district, and based on that feedback, we will make changes on what we're doing in our classrooms, so to make sure that children are definitely attending those districts, go to those districts with the skills that they need to be successful.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, and not just from like a straight did I get an A in English in first grade and a B in English in second grade or whatever, but just day-to-day interactions that the teacher's having with the kids. Oh, you could tell this one came from Head Start because they were much more engaging with the kids, or maybe using manners better, or just something along those lines that might not necessarily fit, in a clean data report, but just, day-to-day interaction.
The social skills.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. The social skills. Yeah.
Social self-help skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the above there.
They're just as important. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're doing good. Here. Probably got about 5-ish minutes left. I don't know, Catherine, do you have any other questions over there? Or?
I don't think so. I mean, these ladies have answered it all for me.
Very informative. My last question, I think, is just, success story, positive things that you've seen. But, what is the best thing that you've seen with these kids, just throughout your day-to-day interactions with them and talking with teachers and, you know, helping a family out that was really in need of, you know, early Head Start services. You know, I'm sure you get a lot of feedback and, you know, hopefully appreciation for what you guys do there in Beaver County.
Well, I just recently talked to a parent who told me that this is child number 5 coming through the program.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that speaks volumes when you have families who have sent all their children to a Head Start program.
Right.
You know, it's a choice. They don't have to send them to Head Start.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to make that conscious effort to send their children to Head Start, I think that speaks volume to the quality of our program. And again, just hearing back from the superintendents about how well our children do, you know, when they transition to kindergarten, you know, says a lot about our success as a program. And now I don't know if you want to talk about maybe some of the experiences about our parents and how we've helped some of our parents over the years with social services.
Right. I just know just one success story that I can share.
Mm-hmm.
There was a parent who was looking for a job, and the family service worker took some time to meet with her to help build her resume.
Okay.
She was able to then feel comfortable to then go and apply for a job and was able to get this set job that she applied for.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it's sometimes just even taking out that time. We could have referred her to job training or another program, but that service worker was well versed in you know, developing or building resumes and took that time out with that mom to do that. So that's helpful where you can see someone who wants to advance, who wants to move forward and do more for her family.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I love that. That's a great story. Thanks for sharing that. So, anything else you guys want to plug here while we have your mic hot? You know, jobs that you're trying to fill up there or anything like that? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So we're currently looking for family service workers,
okay,
instructors, and also, let me see, we need a health assistant,
okay,
and assistant instructors too. So the instructor aides for our classrooms.
Okay.
So those are some of the openings we currently have.
And anybody interested, you know, look for it on privateindustrycouncil.com. Or give us a call, and you know, we'll put you in touch with somebody.
Yeah, check out our Facebook page. Send us a message if you have a question. People are always answering those.
Yes, we're very good on Facebook. I have to say, I'm proud of that. You know, and I think it seems like a lot of interaction comes through on Facebook, and a lot of questions and things like that. So, yeah, please feel free to reach out. I've seen them on there. I've seen people ask questions about their kids, and I've seen people ask questions about employment on there. So it all kind of comes through Facebook, and, you know, it's a really good response rate. So, okay, anything else you guys would like to add before we cut you off here?
Our phone number?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a great thing to add. I don't have it memorized.
So if you want to contact the Head Start program here in Beaver County, you can reach us at 724-728-2110. If you want to stop in to see us, we are located at the Beaver Valley Mall, and our office is near the U-Haul, and where the new Mexican restaurant is going in. If you enter that entrance there, you'll run right into us. Can't miss us.
Okay, well, I know where we're going for lunch next time we're up that way. So there we go.
Not until November.
Oh, not until November. Okay, all right.
The other thing I want to add, Alex, is that we enroll throughout the year. So we're always recruiting for new families. So there's not like a specific time of year.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I've got to get my child in September.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Whenever you're interested, come through to the mall, check us out online with the Private Industry Council website. They'll give you information. You can do a pre-app online, and we'll get that information here. So yes, we recruit and enroll throughout the school year.
That's a very good point.
Or actually throughout the calendar year, because our early Head Start program is a year-round program.
You go through summer. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, and if there's a classroom full, you know, that's what the home-based service can help out in. You know, I know there's been instances up there where, you know, the kid can get transported to a classroom maybe, or a parent can drop them off at a classroom that, you know, it isn't at full capacity. So, basically, yeah, give them a call, go online, fill out that pre-app, find us on Facebook. I'll say the number now that you have it, and I haven't written down in my notes, 724-728-2110. So thanks again, guys. You both have been so helpful. All three of you been very helpful in answering some of these questions. And I don't know if we have anything to preview for our next podcast here, since this is our first one, but I know there's always things going on up there, and I think we're going to try to focus it around, child safety and other areas around that, related to the Head Start and early Head Start programs. So thanks again, and we look forward to doing this in a couple more weeks. I think it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, you guys
Thanks,
have a good night.
guys.
Okay, you too.
All right, bye now. All right, Catherine. Well, I think we can just wrap this up here right now. I thought that was pretty good. They had a lot to say.
It was great, learned about these programs, what's available to these families, how to sign up. I mean, if you're out there and you have a kid between the ages of 6 weeks and 5 years old, give them a call. See if they have room for you. Let's get your kid in there.
Yeah, I love what they said there at the end about, it's open enrollment year round. It's not like you got to get in there before school starts or whatever, so... and they're there to help. This is a community-based organization. This isn't a for-profit or anything like that. No one's making money here. It's not a pre-K, child care place you're taking your kids to. It's it's done by people that are there for the right reasons.
Yeah, not only that, but the program's there for the whole family, not just the children. You heard them. These workers are going to help you. So you need a job. Hey, they'll help you find a job. You need food. They'll take you to the food bank. They're going to drive you to your appointments.
Yeah.
That's an amazing deal.
Invaluable. And, the benefit of private industry council administering this program is, we also run a bunch of other programs. We run a bunch of youth programs. We have after-school programs up there for elementary and middle school kids. We run all that through our youth department here at Private Industry Council. We administer the career links, at least down in Westmoreland and Fayette counties we do. So again, it doesn't just stop with that, 6-year-old or 5-year-old or whatever. It can be basically throughout their entire lives, and for the parents, and full comprehensive support here for Private Industry Council, or PIC as we like to call ourselves. So
anyone, you have any ideas or questions, check out our website. We have our programs listed. Give us a call. Our phone number here in Greensburg is 724-836-2600. One of our wonderful secretaries can give you a lowdown on what programs we have to offer and get you connected to the right person.
All right, thanks again. I am Alec Italiano.
And I'm Catherine Simpson.
And we'll see you next time on the PIC Connection podcast.